Yo, what up? It's your boy AJ back with Daily Sports Talk. Week 2, we're here today. First day, it's Monday, first day of the week, so it's gonna be a little recap of the weekend. Let's go back on my predictions from Friday, which did not go very well. I gotta be honest. I kind of got screwed on my picks, but that's okay, cause they're just predictions, and I didn't bet on any games, thankfully, this week. So, let's dive right in. So, on Friday, we had Suns-Pistons. I picked the Suns. Pistons won that game 110-105. Jeremy Grant, 31, 10 and 2. He's been playing a lot better. I mean, he wanted a chance to get his own, shine. And he's doing it. He's playing really well. If Blake Griffin can play a little good better than he has, it'll be decent. But the Pistons are just—I'm not sure what it is with them. They're not losing by a lot in every game. They're close games, so there's potential there. But something's just not clicking correctly. Sorry about that. I had to close my door. But so 110-105, I lost that one. Celtics Wizards, I did pick the Celtics, and they ended up winning despite Bradley Beal going for 41. Bradley Beal's on a different level right now. I wish he had some help. I wish they'd either trade him or just get him some help. Matter of fact, forget get him help. They tried to do that with Russell, but that really wasn't help. Just get him out of there. Please, just let him go. He's just so good. Send him to the Warriors. Alright, Thunder Knicks. The Knicks have been playing super well. And I thought that they'd win that game. I picked the Knicks, but they ended up getting beat 101-89. The Thunder are just starting to come alive. They just play team ball. They really don't have like an alpha. Shea is their leader. 25, 10, and 7 last night or Friday. But they don't really have like an alpha dog, so they just play team ball. They play, pass first, open shots. I mean, they're really good. They're gonna be one of those sneaker teams that you gotta be careful of because they might take you out. Next game, Hornets Pelicans. I picked the Pelicans, but it was a good game. That was the first showdown between the brothers. LaMelo got the better of his brother, which is I usually get the better of my brother. I have an older brother, so that made sense. I knew he would get the better of him. 118-110. The Hornets won that. The Hornets looking pretty good. They're playing well. They got a lot of different people that can score the ball. So they're still young though. They're just brand new really, but they're playing a lot better than they have in the past. Rockets Magic. 132-90. The Rockets blew them out. And of course I picked the Magic to win that game because the Rockets, they seem to have no chemistry. James Harden doesn't go bonkers. They don't win. Last night was the difference, but Markelle Fultz, I think, at the game he went down, it might have been. No, it wasn't the game they went down. That was a different game. But without Markelle Fultz, they looked a little different. So 132-90, they got blown out. Grizzlies Nets. I picked the Nets, of course, but somehow, some way, the Grizzlies won that. They came out hot in the first quarter, and Karis LeVert had his career night, 43, 5 and 6. Yeah, he had his career night, 43, 5 and 6. Wow, that's disappointing. But I did pick them. The Nets just gave up way too many second chance points, and that's really where they lost the game. Turnovers, second chance points, and then they can never really get back in the game. They won the third quarter, but they lost every other quarter. So I was off on that one too. Bucks Jazz. I picked the Bucks. Both these teams are kind of built similar. They're big, tall guys. They got some shooters. They're real centric around one player usually. But this time, Giannis won the matchup between him and Donovan, 35, 8 and 4. But he lost the game, 131-118. and I was wrong on that. I picked the Bucks, but 35 points off the bench for the Jazz. The Bucks really have no bench. They had 12 points off the bench. You're not gonna beat anybody with 12 points off the bench. The way the benches are playing now, the way the teams are built, they have benches that look like first units. So that's not gonna get it done. Then we have Warriors Clippers. Now I told y'all Curry had something in the bag for you. I tried to tell you he had 38, 2, and 11. Oh my goodness! I told you he had something in the bag for the Clippers, a get back game. So there's one I was right about. So I'm 2 for like 8 now. But I just knew he had something coming. He's playing at an MVP caliber this year, and depending on what he gets from his help, they'll stay in the playoff race. They're gonna be in the playoffs. I don't know why people thought that they wouldn't. He's a Hall of Famer, greatest shooter to ever step on a basketball court. So they're gonna be in the playoffs. I don't know why people hate so much. Lakers Bulls. I got that one right. I picked the Lakers, but it was very close. Zach LaVine is playing out of his mind right now. He has the most points in 3 games since Michael Jordan. In a 3-game stretch since Michael Jordan for the Bulls. He's just playing unbelievable right now. And they almost lost the game. They won by 2 points, 117 to 115. And the Lakers took that, but Zach LaVine is playing at another level. And I don't know how long he can hold it up, but he's playing crazy right now. And then Raptors Kings. The Raptors were looking bad. They still look bad. But Fred VanVleet, you can't really bet. I'm gonna stop betting against him because he's a bucket. 34, 7 and 3. It's a comeback game. The Kings took off early, had the lead, but the Raptors came out in the second half and just put it on them, outscored them, 73 to 49 in the second half. Comeback, and it was a wrap for that. So I got 3 right out of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of 10 games. So 40%. I failed. That's okay. Don't worry about it. So that was Friday's games. Let's just go through a little rundown of Saturday. Nuggets took on the 76ers, 115 to 103. They won that game. The 76ers were short. That was a game that was short. They really only had They only had 7 players active. Only Danny Green was a starter that was still playing. But Tyrese Maxey, he had 39, 7 and 6. He came to play. For me, it was a worse indictment on the Nuggets that the 76ers only had 7 players and none of them were starters except for Danny Green, and you only won by 12. And Jokic only had 15, 12 and 9, almost a triple double, but not against the second string. You got to win that game by 30. But they did. They got it done. They won that game. So Hornets Hawks 113 to 105. LaMelo Ball became the youngest player to record a triple double. 22, 12 and 11. I told you he's gonna be good. He's gonna be good. It's gonna be depending on how successful the Warriors are, because their success is gonna be Wiseman's gonna be a part of their success. If they're successful, Wiseman's playing good because they're gonna need him. So, but I think it's gonna be probably LaMelo Ball is gonna win the Rookie of the Year. I said it already. But the Hornets are playing pretty good actually. They're not bad at all. So 113 to 105, and the Hawks, they take a lot of shots, and they either make or miss, and I can live with that. But you got to play defense. They're just not locking down on defensive side at all. They barely play defense. They need to put the same effort they do on offensive side into the defensive side, and they'd be decent. But they're gonna start falling back and back and back and back. So you got to adjust that. Suns Pacers. This was a good game. 125-117. The Suns took that game. Both of these teams are really good. The Pacers are better than I thought they'd be. I thought they'd be good. Victor's back. They always usually are in the playoff run. But the Suns are they're real. They're here. They're here to stay. And Mikal Bridges is going to be a big part of their success too. 34, 3 and 2. He had his career high. He's a really good piece for them. He's not a selfish guy. He plays his role well. He hits shots when he needs to. And he seems to really like Chris Paul. He's really taking in what he has to say about you know, on the floor. Like he doesn't bark back. You know, he understands. Chris Paul has been here, done that. Devin Booker has been here, done that. So Ayton and Michael are really looking up to them to make the right decision. So I like that. I like the Suns. They're here. I think right now, if the playoffs start tomorrow, it'd probably be Suns Lakers in conference finals on the West, and they'll probably go to 7. I'm not giving the Lakers a sweep on that because the Suns look really good. But that's if they start tomorrow. Heat Wizards. This was like a dog fight throughout the whole game. The Wizards they just need something, bro. I'm tired of looking at them. I'm tired of watching them play. I really am, because it's always Bradley Beal's show, and then he loses. I just want them to win some. They're 2-8, 0-5 at home. That's awful. That's terrible. But that's awful. Jimmy Butler almost had a triple-double, 26, 10, and 9. The Heat are looking like dogs again, but they don't look like one of the top teams. But they weren't a top team last year, so they'll be in the hunt. They'll be in the playoffs, but they're not really concerned about getting the 1, 2, 3 seed. Bucks Cavs. Bucks won that game 100-90. Andre Drummond is a monster. He's a monster. I wish he was on a different team than before. He was on the Pistons and now he's on the Cavs. I wish he would go to a team that actually needs him, that could use him well. But 26 points, 24 rebounds, and 3 assists. He's a monster on the boards. And the Cavs are playing pretty good though, mostly because of the way he controls the glass, and when you control the glass, you can control the tempo. So Andre Drummond had that good stat line. They ended up losing though. Chris Middleton, 27, 6 and 5 for the Bucks to lead them home with a victory.